creator and founder, Margaret, Floyd. She actually wrote this book, and her partner in crime. I'm James. Someone says, do you eat naked? What does that mean to you?
First thing in the morning, eat breakfast.
The ingredients were better for you and you don't feel guilty having them.
I always say look good naked, so try to give your body the best nutrition possible to look good naked.
Eating clean, no sauces, organic.
I eat naked every day.
I think cookie and it's all natural. There's no powders or magic pills or whatever, you know what I mean? It's real food.
So one of my guilty pleasures, I love pasta. I love it, I love it, I love it. But what I don't love is that feeling of pasta gut afterwards. I certainly don't like the feeling like I need to nap after I've eaten it. So we have a solution where we are just using finely shredded vegetables instead of the pasta. But just like with the couscous, this is going to give you that same kind of texture and feeling of the pasta, but it's vegetables.
So I don't think you need a lot of tools in the kitchen. There are some that are really helpful. Margaret mentioned earlier the food processor. That's a really helpful tool. Blenders are also really helpful tools. And then you need a knife. Now this is just an added touch. It's not for everyone. I don't want to push this on you. This is what we call a mandolin. This is a bit more of a heavy-duty mandolin. There are other ones, they call them Japanese mandolins, that are just a straight board, and they're usually like kind of a lime green. They're just helpful. They're not necessary, but they're just helpful, and I'm going to show you why in a second. So this mandolin, I'm going to put 2 blades on it in a second, and I'm going to show you how those blades will make the vegetables look like spaghetti.
One of the challenges with something like spaghetti or any kind of pasta is that most of the meal is the noodles, right? It's not that noodles in and of themselves are a bad thing. It's just that when we eat spaghetti, we have like mostly noodles and then a few veggies and maybe a little bit of meat, right? We don't have mostly veggies and then a little bit of noodles, and but that's ideally the way we want to be doing it. We kind of want to flip those proportions, and if you do, then that's going to help a lot with your blood sugar balancing. It doesn't give you that spike, so you don't get that same crash.
Now, mandolins have usually different, they have different blades. So this one is a little closer, so that means I'm going to make the noodles look a little thinner. But I could also get the wider ones to make them look like pad thai. Maybe I'll do a mix of 2 so you can see the difference. Okay, so mandolin can be very dangerous. One of the ways you can make it not so dangerous is you use a guard. And they all come with them. Here's the guard that came with this. It actually attaches onto the mandolin. So right now, I fit it into the grooves, and now I can't lift this up. It's stuck on there. I can lift this part up, but not the actual piece. And you really want to protect yourself because these blades are sharp and you do not want to cut yourself, obviously, correct?
And if you're like me and you're the kind of person who grates your fingers every time you grate some carrots or cheese, you definitely want one of these. I wish my grater had one too.
So I was talking earlier about how there's parts of a vegetable sometimes we're afraid of. How many of you eat broccoli stems? 2. Probably in this whole convention. I just said that, and only 2 people in this entire convention raise their hand, right? Because they all can hear me. No, so here we are with the broccoli stems. We're actually going to use these for noodles. And they're totally edible. It's just, once again, you're not going to cook this whole thing. But if you string it and make it small, you make it more manageable for your stomach, but also when you're cooking it.
Yes.
So I'm going to put this in. I'm going to put the guard over. And you'll have a little bit remaining. You could throw this in your compost or just toss it. You'll have a little bit. Or you can use your own knife and cut it.
This is another one of those times where, I mean, he's saying this tool isn't necessary, but I would argue that if you want to make this recipe, it kind of is. You can get them anywhere.
So here we go. And then what I would do, now this, compared to the other things I'm going to show you how that you can make into noodles, this takes a little bit longer to cook. So I would not throw everything I'm about to show you all on one pot. I would do it in stages. This takes longer, so I'm going to throw that in right now. And once again, we're still only using a little bit of water.
Basically, again, you're just steaming this.
And you can salt your water just like you would normal pasta too. Nothing wrong with it. Okay, so other than broccoli stems, we're also going to, I'm going to show you how to do the butternut squash. Now, the butternut squash, it's same with the spaghetti squash, you don't eat the skin, okay? You peel that part. And I've already peeled some, so I just wanted to show you what this looks like, and now I'll show you what the peeled piece looks like. So this is what it looks like. So this is from that part. So I had to scoop the seeds out. Now this part, the neck does not have any seeds, so that's actually really easy to use. But now I'm just going to do the same process that I just did.
So just like with the couscous and with the collard greens, you can basically use this the way you would use pasta in any way. So just add your favorite sauce. We're going to add a homemade pesto that Chef James made yesterday, I believe, and just make, you know, a pesto pasta. You can add some meat if you wanted to. You can, you know.
There's actually a pesto recipe in the book that we use a little bit of basil. We also include spinach in there, so it's a great way to get spinach, you know, more vegetables in your diet.
So in terms of these recipes, the first two that we did, the cauliflower couscous and using the collard greens as a wrap, both of those are in my first book, Eat Naked. This recipe, using kind of making spaghetti or linguine, is in our upcoming cookbook, Naked Foods Cookbook, which is out in May.
So the next one we're going to do is some zucchini.
Basically, you can do this with any kind of vegetable that is kind of hard. Zucchini is the one that probably tastes the closest to pasta for the texture.
Looks just like pad thai in my opinion. It's like thin flat. So highly encourage you to eat real food. Check out Margaret's site, Eat Naked Now. She does an amazing job of informing. She has a great newsletter that's constantly informing people of things that they can do to make their lives more naked. We call it nakedify your lives. Get nakedified. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you so much.
Samples over there. We're going to have samples of the rolls. Margaret, Floyd, Eat Naked. How did your first day at the LA Fitness Fair go?
It was fantastic. It was non-stop, people at our booth all day long. Great feedback on our talk and demo. I'm utterly wiped, completely exhausted. My feet want to be in the sky. The rest of me wants to be on a soft couch that could turn into a bed. And yeah, it was wonderful. Great feedback on the food, great feedback on the concept, just a lot of education and tons of energy. It's great.
And I have to concur. I'm exhausted.